made you just up and say, I want the big chair now?
I want to advocate more for some of the issues that I feel have been neglected, like neighborhoods, like small business development, ensuring that we're raising the incomes of Detroiters and building our middle class.
Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is.
What up, though? It's Eastside Ivo. And today, y'all, we got somebody real special. Real special. She is the youngest person ever to be elected to city council. She the current council president and soon to be the next mayor of the city of Detroit. And if that ain't familiar enough to y'all, her name was already mentioned in the bar by Big Sean. Oh my God. It's on the floor. We got the one and only beautiful Miss Mary Sheffield.
It's on the floor.
It's on the floor.
I'm glad to be here.
You saw I had to do it passion.
Yes,
like,
you did.
I had to close my eyes like an R&B singer.
I was solid.
Yeah, it was,
Good
huh?
job.
Hey, this is my first interview, getting, political.
Long overdue.
Yeah, we got some questions, so we can get right into it, right?
Okay.
We had a lot of mayors in the city,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That made promises to us and stuff and betrayed us. So, how are you going to assure that you can and should be trusted to the voters?
So I think it's important to mention that, I've been in office for 12 years. I was the youngest ever elected, like you mentioned. I came in post Kwame, the era of Kwame Kilpatrick, and a lot of people were skeptical about a young person taking office. And the last 12 years, have you heard anything about the council president besides the work that I'm doing in the community? So I say that to say I've led with integrity. I've led with compassion. I've led with professionalism. I've always tried to maintain a level of decorum, the way I conduct business. And I've worn that badge of honor and pride being the youngest ever elected because I wanted to represent for young people, to let the city know that we as young people can take responsibility and hold offices and positions in leadership. And so I think people should judge my past performance, because one thing about elections and politicians is when it's campaign time, they will sell you anything. Oh, what's going wrong, what I'm gonna do. But look at somebody's past performance and what they've been doing. I'm born and raised in Detroit. I'm not going anywhere. This city made me, it raised me. And it called me to serve. And so my heart and my passion is here. So I would just say it's not about what I'm gonna do and you have to worry about how I'm gonna show up. Just look at how I've been showing up for 12 years. Always making sure that I advocate for people and give back to this city.
12 years?
12 years, man, 12 years.
So you've been in the political game for a long time. So what made you just up and say, I want the big chair now?
You know what? It's really the ability to be able to make a difference. And with Mayor Duggan leaving, it's a wide open seat. I've been in the trenches in Detroit. I've been doing the work. I've been able to make some major impacts to Detroit. But now I feel like community, people, neighborhoods, the culture of Detroit, our spirit is on the line, to be quite honest with you. I mean, this is a majority Black city. We have not had Black leadership in Detroit for quite some time. And I want to advocate more for some of the issues that I feel have been neglected, like neighborhoods, like small business development, ensuring that we're raising the incomes of Detroiters and building our middle class. And so there's a huge opportunity of change that can take place. And I feel like I'm the one who can do it and really deliver for Detroit and continue to move the city forward.
That's so good. So look, you mentioned about being Black.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next question. I really want to know, what has been some challenges that you came across being a young Black woman in politics?
I just think that it's an extra layer of scrutiny. You always have a different level of expectations. I feel like oftentimes we're just judged more, and the same level of scrutiny other people sometimes don't get. And so for me, I've always had to work extra hard. I always had to ensure that as much as possible, I'm telling my story, because sometimes the amazing work that I do gets undermined by maybe other elected officials, or even sometimes the mayor, right? The mayor gets a lot of credit for the growth of Detroit, but people don't understand that if it wasn't a council next to him, if it wasn't the leadership of myself serving as a chair of the council, the work that is going on in Detroit would not have happened. So you got to work extra hard. You got to get the message out and tell your story. Just understand that you're under a different level of scrutiny because being a woman and also being young as well.
You mentioned that you play a big part, or the council plays a big part in developing in Detroit, right? As mayor, how do you plan to show real love to the neighborhoods? Not just making downtown Detroit more acute, but like the hood that I'm from.
Listen, my heart, my love is in our neighborhoods. I feel like that is the heartbeat of Detroit. When I'm out and I'm in a community and I see block clubs, I see people out on the block barbecuing, just community, knowing their neighbors. That is the neighborhoods that I love. That's where I grew up, Sherwood Forest, 7 Mile Livernois area. It made me who I am. And so I want to see more investment. I want to see more activation of our parks, more walkability, more vibrancy, more neighborhood grocery stores, restaurants, amenities in our community that people can go to without having to go downtown or to the suburbs to shop. I want to see more home ownership, more access to more houses that are built within our communities and our neighborhoods. And so to me, it's going to be about the foundation being laid now. Downtown and Midtown is well developed. Now we have to incentivize more growth into our neighborhoods and our communities and really build those up, get our schools functioning a lot better, activating more of our parks, our rec centers, opening them up more for our youth to have things to do, and really bringing that vibrancy back into our neighborhoods and that life back into our neighborhoods.
You've been out here doing a lot of work to the point where you made it to the music of Detroit, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier that Big Sean had mentioned you in the bar, and he said, I think he said, Mike just run for mayor. I put that on Horace Sheffield,
Yep,
right?
he said it, yep.
How does that make you feel knowing that you guys made it to the Detroit music scene?
It feels good. You know, I spent a lot of time with the artists in Detroit. You know, when I first took office, I wanted to make sure that I was true to who I was. And I love artists. I love hip hop. I love our culture in Detroit. And so for me, it was about how can I bridge young people over to politics and civic engagement. And oftentimes music is that middle factor that can bridge the two together.
You ain't lying.
Right? So I started Occupy the Corner, and we started going out in every single neighborhood, and I would bring artists out. We would have music, but we would also have resources, voter registration, you know, how to get your felony, your record expunged. We would have all types of information that city government essentially is bringing it to the backyards of people's homes. And that was a way to bridge the gap, because when young people heard Skilla Baby and Sada Baby were coming, they would come out. But then once we got their attention, we started talking about why it's important for you to vote, how you can get help, how you can get a job, how you can get access to home repairs. And that was a way to bridge the gap. So I spent a lot of time with our artists over the years. And what I've also learned working with Big Sean and Skilla Baby and Vezo and others is they truly have a passion for Detroit. Like, they want to contribute to the growth of our city. They want to revitalize their blocks where they grew up on. They want to instill a positive message in our youth. And so it was a win-win for me to ensure that they were also part of my term serving here on the city council.
That's dope. So did you know that the bar was coming, or did it kind of like catch you off guard?
It definitely caught me off guard.
Do you remember where you was at when you
I
first
was at
heard
my
it?
office. Somebody texted me the song. And I'm like, why are they sending me this song? And they were like, just listen. So I listened. Okay. I listened to it, and the reaction, I really wish I got it on video. It was absolutely funny. But I was running around the office like, what? He really said my name. So then I texted him, and I was like, man, thank you. This is just what I needed. And then he responded, you know, pretty much telling me to keep going. He believes in me, etc. But I mean, it was really the song, the motivation that I feel like I needed to get me through this campaign. Big Sean is someone I definitely admire. I think he represents the best of what Detroit is, from someone who came from Cass Tech, made it to a very high place in his career, but loves the city, always wants to give back. So to have his support really meant a lot to me.
So what is Occupy?
Yeah, Occupy the Corner is one of the largest community resource and empowerment events in Detroit. And essentially what we do is we bring city government to the community. And we have artists and influencers come out. We have a good time, music and fun. But we also are connecting people with job training, how to expunge a record, you know, utility assistance. Literally, you can come on site and get a job right there. But the idea is that we want to bring resources directly to the people, oftentimes in disenfranchised and marginalized communities that feel as if they're left out of city government. So I'm very proud of the work. It's over thousands of people that come out. We give away backpacks and coats and shoes, bikes, and we always partner with local artists and sometimes even national artists. We have Jeezy come out before, we've had Mike Epps come out. But the idea is to empower the community to be the best version of themselves while also bridging that gap as well.
So do you have the wherewithal, to have like the serious money that you need in order to run a winning campaign?
Yeah, I mean, we're out here actively fundraising. For those who are watching that want to donate, we take it.
Yeah.
But yes, our goal is to raise $3 million by the general election, which is in November. By the primary in August, we want to raise 1.5. We're well ahead of that to get that done. But you are right, money drives politics, and we're trying to make sure that we get it from not just corporate and business leaders, but also everyday Detroiters, because my campaign is really powered by my love and my drive for everyday people and ensuring that we have a government that actually works for the betterment of people and not just corporations and businesses.
I grew up here in Detroit like you, right? So how do you plan on making the city more affordable? Because it seemed like people was getting priced out their own city.
No, that's a great question. So one of my main objectives as mayor is to reduce property taxes, because those who are homeowners, those who are business owners, the cost of living in Detroit is extremely high. We pay some of the highest property taxes in the country. In Detroit.
Country, what?
Yeah, in the country, Detroit. Then we know auto insurance is extremely high. Most people don't even have their auto insurance registered in Detroit because it's extremely high. So we're gonna really work to increase or decrease, I should say, our property taxes, as well as build more quality, affordable housing in Detroit. So that's a big thing for me. I want to ensure that we have more access to home ownership. My goal within my first term is to have 1,000 new single family homes that are built that give a pathway to home ownership for Detroiters. But I think also when we talk about the cost of living in Detroit and affordability, we oftentimes miss the mark by talking about how are we creating upward mobility. So how are we ensuring that people who are just kind of surviving, how are we moving them to a place of thriving, right? And ensuring that we're raising the incomes, building our middle class. So that goes back to workforce development, making sure people have good paying jobs that pay livable wages. And we have to attract those jobs to Detroit and make sure that Detroiters are prepared from a workforce development standpoint to take on those jobs.
So through past administrations, right? I feel like in the neighborhoods, the sidewalks, potholes, and the infrastructure in the neighborhoods been neglected, and they building the riverfront downtown off the residents' expense. How do you plan to be different than that?
Yeah, so those basic city services are something that has always been important to me. I don't think it has to be one or the other, right? I don't think it has to always be downtown versus midtown. Because my thing is, without a doubt, we need a thriving downtown, right? People come downtown and hang out all the time. But it doesn't have to be at the expense of our neighborhoods being developed. So for me, it's going to be, how do we make it an intentional effort to reinvest money back into our communities? I created something called the Neighborhood Improvement Fund, which we've already geared multi-million-dollar program to neighborhood redevelopment. Going to continue that work and ensure that we're prioritizing neighborhood infrastructure as well.
All right. So this is like a young dream for a young black woman in Detroit, right? Let's say you win and then boom.
Woo.
You win, then boom. What you gonna do on day one?
Well, honestly, the first thing that I'm going to do is recruit the best and the brightest. I'm going to get a team of experts to be around me to ensure that I have the most amazing team, because no mayor and no leader can do this work by themselves. So I'm just being honest. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I want to do, but you can't do it by yourself. And so that's day one. And I'm already doing this work now, but the main objective for me is going to start to build out the most phenomenal team to ensure that Detroit continues to move forward.
That's what's up. See, you look better than all the other candidates and stuff. What makes you actually different than them, though?
Man, everything. I'm gonna just be honest. Everything. My experience. I bring over 12 years of governmental experience. I have fiscal discipline. I've balanced 12 budgets. We have a $3 billion budget. Every year it's been balanced with a surplus, 11 of those years. And then my track record. Listen, I have not just held the seat of city council president and city council member. I have delivered for this city, whether it's home repair grants for our seniors, water affordability, foreclosure prevention, neighborhood beautification grants, trying to drive investment back into our neighborhoods, economic empowerment, small business development. I have over 20 pieces of laws that I've passed that has directly impacted the quality of life of residents. So I would say the experience, the track record of delivering for Detroit, the fact that I've been here. You know, I'm not just showing up now during campaign season and saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I've done it and I want to do more. But I also think I have a heart of compassion. Like I got elected and I started to address social issues, homelessness, poverty. Like these are issues that plague Detroit. And we need a leader that is not only bold, that not only has experience, but also I believe has compassion for everyday Detroiters so that we can address those issues and ensure that the most vulnerable in our city also benefits from the resurgence of Detroit as well.
You about to change the game, right?
Let's do it.
You about to change the game.
Do it.
Hey, listen, it's a little girl somewhere right now, a little black girl that's looking at you like, I can do that.
That's right.
What would you say to her?
Man, yes, you can.
Yes,
Listen,
you can.
I'm running this race for her to know that she can.
Okay.
You know, in our over 300 year history, Detroit's been around over 300 years. I think 324 years. There's never been a woman mayor. Never. That's crazy. And so not only will I be, you know, the first woman, and I'm doing this not for me, but for all women around the country, especially our young girls in Detroit, to let them know that they can and do and be anything they want to be. But I also know that I'm the right person, right? It's not just that I'm a woman. I have the record, I have the experience, and I'm ready day one, and that means the world to me. So that does give me inspiration because I look at other urban cities and other major cities. They're women that are leading, right? We're just a little bit behind in Detroit, but I think Detroit is ready.
It seems like women in politics do have it hard. For example, like Kamala Harris when she was running for president, or Hillary Clinton. A lot of people feel like a woman cannot run a country, and here you are running for the city of Detroit. How do you feel about the slack and all the slander that y'all get?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate. I try not to lean into the negativity, more so the positivity of what I see women doing every day. You know, women are leaders in all types of fields, in the corporate sector, in the business sector, and in politics. We're seeing leadership and women advance. So I just think, unfortunately, we do have to work harder, but the more of us that do run, and we shatter the glass ceiling, I think the more we're opening our way to show the world that we can do what we do best, and that is lead as well. Women naturally are nurturers, and I believe in Detroit, that's what we need, someone who can nurture this city. We take care of the whole village, right? So I just see myself as a leader. I'm gonna make sure everybody is taken care of. And I just think that's important. So we got to work extra hard. We got a long way to go, but I'm excited in this city that we're on the brinks of possibly having the first woman mayor in Detroit.
I don't like the stereotype of people saying, oh, women cannot run a country, or women cannot run a city. How do you feel about that?
I don't agree. Again, I think it's about the more women show up, the more that we excel and exceed in leadership, the more we prove time and time again that we can. You know, sexism is a real thing. Misogyny is a real thing. But ultimately, the more we have men like yourself, what you just said, you don't like it because you obviously don't agree with it. The more we have people speak up and elect and support our women, the better positions that we're in. So we have a great opportunity to do it here in Detroit, and I'm looking forward to that possibility.
You seem like you have a lot of compassion, Mary.
I do.
Right? Who played a big role in instilling that in you?
You know, definitely my mother. My mother was a nurse. She was a professor. And she just really taught me, like, you got to look after people. You got to look after the least of thee in life. And she really gave me, I believe in a lot of ways, the heart that I have for just everyday people. Can
you remember a time or a moment in time where it stuck with you?
Man, it was a lot of different times. My grandmother was a nurse too, so I always was in the hospital with her at Hudson Hospital. She was taking care of patients.
I was born there.
I was born there too.
Okay.
You were Hudson Hospital?
Yeah, I'm Hudson Hospital.
Okay,
baby.
me too. And then
I had a hernia like this big. I had to go back. It was like this big. Anyway.
You need to stop. I'm glad you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
Big belly button baby. That's
Big belly baby.
Crying like a motherfucker. Anyway, all that.
No, but she was a nurse. My mother also was one, and she just always cared after patients. She also dealt with psychiatric patients, so I learned a lot about mental health. And as a child, some of the memories of me, my mother used to always want to give back to the homeless. So I just remember always helping out the homeless, feeding the homeless. So those are the things that stuck to me, you know, as a young kid growing up, and really shaped, I believe, my compassion.
Okay, so what about your daddy?
Man, listen, my daddy, he instilled in me the fighter side.
Okay.
My daddy was, you know, growing up with Jesse Jackson and L. Sharpton. And
he one of those.
Oh, he one of them. Dick Gregory. Listen, social justice, civil rights. I mean, he led marches. My grandfather was the right-hand man to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. I have pictures with him in oh my God. I'm talking about legendary civil rights icon. So I have a mixture, right, of mobilizing, organizing, you know, Black Panther type of leadership. And then I have the heart, the compassion of what my mother's side of the family taught me. But it really just my father showed me, listen, when systems don't work for people, you change them. And so it wasn't just about sitting back and letting injustice take place. It was about, you have a responsibility to use your voice and to speak against it. And he was the one, that side of the family really instilled upon me policy. Policy is what shapes our life. It's laws, right? That sometimes are unjust, that you have to fight against. And that is one of the reasons why I ran for office, is because I was always, you know, into social justice and activism, but then I started to understand the intersection of policy. And that is why I also ran for office. So very proud of the legacy of my father and the Sheffield family, because they come from some strong lineage of fighters, you know, over 80 years. And
that's who name you carry, your dad.
That's who name I carry, I'm talking about fighters, Ivo.
Yeah.
People talking about, are you ready to take, man, do you know
what's in
my blood?
Right.
I come from fighters. You know, I watched my great grandfather. He was one of the black foremen in the foundry at Ford. I'm talking about one of the toughest jobs you can do back in the day. He fought for black people to have leadership roles in the UAW. I mean, really laid the foundation for the middle class in Detroit. So I come from just strong, legendary civil rights and social justice fighters that as a young girl, when I was 10 years old, I remember I was at a protest marching, no justice, no peace. You know, Jeffrey Feiger was there, L. Sharpton. It was, you probably don't remember this, it was a guy who got killed at Lord and Taylor at Fairlane Mall by an officer. And I just never forget going out there and being a part of that. It really just shaped me as a young kid. So I'm born to do this, I'm ready to do it, and I'm excited to lead this city.
All right, let's settle this. I don't mean to shake the room up.
But shake it up.
Coney Island, American, or Lafayette? Be careful, all right?
I know.
This could swing voters.
Which one?
This could swing voters. American?
Yeah.
You walk in Coney Island right now, boom, what you ordering off the menu?
No, I'm going to say, I was gonna say it's between American and Lafayette. Unfortunately, both of them. I'm gonna say both.
Okay.
But what am I ordering?
Yeah.
A Coney dog and some chili cheese fries.
Okay, onions on it or
No,
mustard?
just regular Coney chili cheese fries.
All right, top 3 artists in Detroit all time. Go.
Big Sean.
Of course you will say that.
Of course,
Okay.
of course. Skilla Baby.
You love you some Skilla, all right.
And Icewear Vezzo. No, you know what? Take that back. I gotta put a woman in there. Cash down.
All right, that's a nice lineup.
Yeah, thank you.
That is a nice lineup.
And let me just say, I love all of our Detroit artists, and so I don't want to feel left out. I love every single one of them. They're doing their thing. Detroit is putting on for the music industry, so I got a lot of love for all of our Detroit artists. I couldn't even name them all because they're doing a phenomenal job.
You're just so
Sorry.
fair.
I want to be
fair. Finish this for me. Detroit is
the best city in the world.
I know that's right.
Detroit is resilient. Detroit is strong. Detroit is unique. There's no other place like Detroit.
I feel like you won a lot of people over, but if it's still somebody who watching this interview that's just on the fence right now, I'm voting for you.
Better jump over.
From the heart, what you gonna say to him right now?
Yeah, I would just say, I'm a daughter of Detroit, born and raised here. I've given my life to service since I was 14 years old. I've been serving Detroit and then elected now for 12. And I'm ready to take Detroit to the next level. If you are someone who cares about the growth of Detroit, wanting this place to be a place of opportunity where you don't have to leave and go somewhere else,
right,
where you can raise a family, where our school systems are strong, where we have affordable housing and safe communities, and a chance for economic opportunities, I would say support me because my goal and my mission is for everyone in this city to thrive. I want Detroit to be a place where your dreams can be realized and your purpose can be fulfilled. And that takes us cultivating a city of opportunity, focusing on our neighborhoods, focusing on building the incomes of Detroiters and investing in people. So I'm excited, and I hope that Detroit is too, so we can get going and get work done.
So how do folks tap in with you to volunteer or to support
Everything
the
is
mission?
at marysheffield.com. marysheffield.com. You can go on that website. You can volunteer. You can support. You can host me in your neighborhood. I even come out. I walk blocks with people, come into your community. So marysheffield.com has everything to connect to me.
The floor is yours. Get the rest of your voters right now. This camera right here is yours. Look dead in that camera and get the rest of them.
So what's up, Detroit? I am Detroit City Council President Mary Sheffield. Let me first say, it has been the absolute honor of my life to serve this city with integrity and with compassion. I would just encourage you all to support me in this next election for mayor. If you are someone who cares about the future of this city for our youth, for our neighborhoods, for economic opportunity, and wanting this place to be a destination of opportunity where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, where housing is affordable and accessible, there's a path to home ownership, where education is improved, where our neighborhoods are thriving and walkable, and when we are investing in people and raising the incomes and creating livable wages for our residents, I would say come on over and support me because I have not just started this work, I've been doing this work for the last 12 years in Detroit. It's been an honor to be a partner in the growth of Detroit. We've all seen it, but we know that there's more work to do. It's time to focus on our neighborhoods. It's time to empower our people, empower our communities. So Mary Sheffield for mayor, and I hope you join on the team. Put that on Mary Sheffield.
Yeah, put that on Mary Sheffield. Clock in.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. It's your boy Eastside Ivo, your favorite cousin on your daddy's side. And we have did a successful, fun interview, very informative.
Yes, thank you.
With the next mayor of the city of Detroit, Mary Sheffield. Everybody give her a round of applause.
Yay.
And that's it.
Yay.
And that's it.
Peace.